Hello everybody, welcome to Eileen's Crafty Nook. Today we're going to do a galaxy coaster. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I've already mixed up my resin and I have a couple other molds to use for anything extra. So right now I'm just going to add my black pigment powder, and this brand is Reflections, which I picked up at Michael's. So I added just a couple of little scoops of that, and I'm going to mix that up. And I'm also adding the Marabou alcohol ink, which should give it a little bit of shine, like the star shine. So just giving this a good mix. I don't want it to be translucent. I want it to be opaque. And then once I'm done getting everything mixed, and I add my Marabou alcohol ink. This is my first time using it. I had seen it used on another YouTube video, and it did give a nice sparkle to the black. So I'm not adding any glitter or anything at this point, because I'm going to be using some mica powders once we get this poured. Alright, so we'll go ahead, give this a good mix, and then we're going to pour it in the mold. I'm going to pour it about, I'd say, a third to a half. So I'm just checking the opacity. Not sure if that's a word. And we'll go ahead and fill it up. I'm just going to take my time, drizzle it in. I don't want to introduce any additional bubbles. Alright, I'm just going to spread this around to get to all the sides. So this is my first time doing this, adding the mica powders to, well, it's my first galaxy effect, but it's also my first time adding mica to the wet resin. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. And you can see up in the top there I have my that roll of washi tape with the moons on it. My plan is, once this layer dries, is to put that on there and line it with the gold, and then to add some glitter and effects. So that's the plan. So I'm just getting any specks I can see in there, shine my light over so I can see if there's anything in it. And then we're going to go ahead and use the resin, leftover resin, to fill up a couple other molds. So I have my little tiny cat pendant mold. This is new mold I just got from Temu. And I have my zodiac sign mold. So these are pendants, or you can use them as keychains. I've used this mold previously, and what I tried when I did it before is, because it has the sign in there plus the word, so Leo, Virgo, Libra. And what I did before was I used a marker, and I tried to run the marker across the lettering before I poured the resin. But I didn't find it turned out all that well, so I'm trying something different this time. And I'm excited to show you guys, because it does turn out a lot better. So I just poured my black resin into a smaller cup to make it easier, get a better precision pour into these small cavities. And I'm also going to pour my little cat here. It's not going to take a whole lot of resin, so I'm just going to try to get this in without getting too much overage. And once I'm done that, I'm going to finish filling up the zodiac sign mold. And then I'm going to stop the video and then come back and show you how we do the mica powders in the coaster. All right, we're back. So I'm just going to make sure there's no bubbles. And then we'll get started with the mica powder. And I have just regular mica powders. I have some in the little jars and then some in the bags. I'm just going to give it a spray with my 91% alcohol ink. I do use the 91%. I haven't had any issues with it. I found it, I couldn't find the 99% other than on Amazon. It was quite expensive. I picked up the 91% for about a third of the price at Walmart. So that's what I use, and it seems to work just fine. So I'm going to start with the gold mica powders. And I'm just going to use my little tool here, and I'm just going to dust some right on to the top of this resin, which has not cured. It's still wet. And we're just going to do that with the different colors till we get a nice effect. So I'm just going to dot a little bit on, kind of all over. I don't want to get any too big of blobs any place. So I'm just using the small tool and just kind of peppering it on. And then I'm going to use some of the colors. I'm going to start with this. It's like a raspberry color, I would call it. I did get these at Michael's, the little pots. I picked them up on sale. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the pinkish color in, not too much, not as much as the gold. I want gold to be the dominant color. So I'm just picking up a little bit at a time and kind of dotting it in there. You can't see it that well in the video, but a little bit of pink in there. And then I'm going to add some blue. I'm just using the same brush. I'm just dotting some blue in here and there. Again, just using very little. It's just to highlight that gold that's in there. And then I'm going to add some green. You can see how much I have on the tip of that little brush. Just going to use a little bit. Oh, yep, just dabbing in. This is looking nice. The plan is once I'm done this, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to add the tape and then a clear layer on top. So now I'm going to go back in with a little bit of the light gold mica. Again, just to highlight, I want the gold to be the main color. So I'm going to just add a little bit in there. This is nice. I really like how this looks. Micas are always so pretty, especially when they're done in black. Okay. I'm going to spray it with the alcohol ink. I'm going to give it a couple of good sprays to kind of move around that mica powder a bit, help it blend in. And then we are going to let it sit. Thank you guys. I will see you. I'm going to be back as soon as this is dry. All right. We are back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eileen's Crafty Nook. So today, we're back with this project. It's cured. So I wanted to share with you my original plan when I poured this and did the galaxy was I was going to use some washi tape. And, the plan was I wanted to do this moon one, and I was going to add it to the coaster and then put some gold trim around it. But I just couldn't bring myself to cover up this, look at it. That was too pretty to cover up. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I've already, you saw the first part where I added the mica powders. Sorry about that light. Let me just move it a bit. There we go, so you're not getting the reflection. So the mica powders and I had the marabou, and then I just kind of swirled it a bit, and then I spritzed it with the alcohol. Boy, I really, really like this. I hope that you guys can see. I know you're getting a bit of a reflection. So, and then, so that was with the black, and then I was going to put the tape on it. I'm like, no, I just can't cover it up. So I put a clear coat on it. So let's take it out because it's ready to go. So in the back, you can see there's some of the gold, and I don't think you can really tell, but with that marabou alcohol ink, there's just some flecks of sparkle. So I'm just happy with the way this turned out as is. I'm going to have to try the washi tape on a different project. So let me know, guys, know what you think. Should I cover it with the washi tape or leave this pretty galaxy? It's like something went straight in the middle. Turned out better than I thought. It's my first time trying that. Just tapping the mica powders into the wet resin. Okay, and with our leftover resin, I poured these little astrological keychains, or I guess I'll use them for keychains, but they could be pendants. And this cute, I already took this little one out of the mold. This little, cute little cat pendant. Isn't that sweet? I think that would be cute with some color in it as well. It's not, I mean, it's very thin on the points, but it is cute. I like that. Alright, so I wanted to show you, I demolded some of them because I wanted to show you, the last time I tried making these, I actually took a marker and I was trying to, color the raised lettering in here, and it just didn't work out very well. So for this time around, what I did was I just poured them in the black, and after the fact, I came in and I used acrylic paints. And I wanted to show you, so you just put the paint on, and then you can just scrape it off and leave it in the crevices. And then once it dries, you can come in with a baby wipe like this and get all that excess off. So it's just in the crevices. See that? Missed a little piece here. There. Just a little bit on the L. There we go. See? That works out so much better. And then I could just top it with some UV resin. So, and I just used acrylic paints. So for this one, I had this Deco Art metallic in the amethyst. And I really do like the color, how that turned out. And then I also had this Aries one, which I wanted to show you guys in camera how well these just wipe off once they're dry. See, there's the Aries, and I did that one in this Folk Art metallic garnet red. These ones I did in a silver. And I think the fact, if I've seen, I mean, these molds were cheap. I think they're, honestly, I think they were under $2. So, you know, this would be a great beginner project for somebody. There's the Scorpio done in the silver, and this is just silver paint from the dollar store. I also tried this color shift from DecoArt and this metallic paint from DecoArt. So the color shift is this one. Let me just, I haven't cleaned it off because I wanted to show you guys. I did these, they sat overnight. So I did the painting on them yesterday, and they've sat overnight to dry. Now, they don't take overnight to dry. I just wasn't down here to clean them off yesterday. Okay, so there's the Cancer. That's in the color shift one. And then the, which one did I do in the black? I guess it was this one here, the Aquarius. Doesn't show up quite as much, so that may not have been a great color for them. So I just wanted to show you guys how easy this is. So I really liked this purple one, so I'm just going to shake up my bottle and let's go with Virgo. And I just have a brush. I got this brush off of Temu, I believe. And you just go in and paint. You can be a little heavy-handed. Just make sure you get in all those crevices. So you want a small tip paintbrush. And I just kind of dab, dab, dab. Dab, dab, dab is all I'm doing to make sure I get in all those little. And then I just wash my brush out. Wipe it in there. And now normally I would let this dry for a minute or two. But then I just came in with one of these silicone palettes. You could use anything. When I was first doing them, I was using my Cricut scraper. This works for bigger items. This is what I used when I did my moon. I used the bigger one. But for these little guys, I just came in and I just scraped the excess off. Wipe it on my baby wipe. And then I let it dry. Now I haven't gotten it all, but I got enough. And then once that dries, I would come in and wipe it off. And that's all there is to doing these. So anyways, that's today's project. Again, let me know in the comments what you think of my super easy galaxy. And would you have covered this up with the washi, or, you know, is it too nice, like I think it is, to cover it up? So thanks for joining me, guys, today. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'm trying to grow my channel. This is, I've only done a few videos. I promise I'll get better as we go, but I really do appreciate everybody. Thank you. Bye. Hey, I know I said goodbye, but I'm back because I realized I forgot. I mentioned doing the UV resin, and then I forgot to demonstrate it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so you guys can see what the final version of these look like. I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. And I have my UV resin from J Diction, and I'm just going to go ahead. So I just want to make sure there's nothing on the surface of the, should I bring it in more? There. Nothing on the surface of the pendant. And I'm just going to lay this down. Now just be careful when you're doing this to not cover in the hole at the top if possible. And it's going to give it a quick. Now you could do this with 2-part resin. If you're doing that, I would suggest you put some glue on the bottom in case it rolls over, or even do it while it's in the mold. Alright, looks like I got a little piece of something in there, so just, oh, I think I just dropped something else in there. There we go. Okay, so I think I've mentioned many times, cats. 14 of them to be exact. And dogs. So I always have hair flying all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going to cure that up. I'm going to put my resin away from the UV light, even though it's in a black bottle. So I'll just come back to you once it's cured, show you the finished product. Alright, I let that cure for 3 minutes under the UV light. And there's our final product. Sorry for the glare, guys. There. Go ahead and focus, focus, focus. There we go. There it is. So it's got some sparkle in it from that marabou. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.